What's up?
What is going on?
Episode 2.
Episode 2 of Huff and Brown.
Ooh, baby.
I'm Seth Huff.
I'm Spencer Brown.
Spencer, why don't you talk about our guest today?
Well, today we have a man who's versed in many aspects of living, and that's my good man, Waleid Elchaer.
That's me.
Let's give it up for him.
Give it up for
Let's give him up for Waleid.
I'm clapping too, because I like myself.
Clapping for yourself.
That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
You're confident.
Waleid, you're a lead vocalist in a heavy metal band. You have a podcast you run with a bunch of nerds about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you, dude? Who are you?
I ask myself the same thing every morning when I go through my, everyday existential crisis. Like, who the fuck am I? What is this? What year is it? And then I cry. And then I get in the shower and I cry some more.
So you're like the vocalist in your band, right?
Yeah.
So is there like a correlation between Dungeons and Dragons and like the type of music you play?
So we had one song about Dungeons and Dragons we don't play anymore. It's called Welcome to the Broken Boar. It was all about just like one D&D adventure campaign that we kind of had. We had to change the name because originally in my campaign, because I'm the dungeon master, instead of coming up with fucking names for bars everywhere we went, I just made it the Rape Boar. That's what I always called it. But I was like, I don't know if I can sell that as a song title. So
Yeah,
we're
probably
like,
not.
well, we had a gay bar for wizards called the Broken Wand. So I just I combined it together and made it the Broken Boar for this song. But the rest of my lyrics are actually generally about death, and not in the sense of like Cannibal Corpse, like gory shit. It's more of like, it's more like sad. It's more
like you have a timeline. We all have an expiration date. You got a shelf life.
Basically, it's a lot about killing yourself. There's a lot of my songs revolve around suicide and stuff like that. And
why is it?
Why? I just think that, obviously suicide's terrible, and if you need help, seek help. But I just think there's something we can all relate to.
There's a lot of emotion in there for sure.
Feeling that way, feeling that kind of level, feeling that kind of down. But I feel like, I guess like as cheesy as it is, it's like being sad and like sorrow and all that kind of shit. It's just like an emotion everybody feels.
It's real.
So I feel like it's super relatable in terms of lyrics.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the reason I asked about the Dungeons and Dragons thing is that, like, I feel like being like in a metal band or like a hardcore band, that's super easy material forever. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
for sure. You could derive off that for fucking ever if I want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard not to get fucking repetitive with that kind of shit. Because then you just turn to like an 80s power metal band after a while.
Yeah.
What got you into that? Why are you not? Why didn't you go down the Luke Bryant, wormhole? What got you into metal? What was it? What was the defining moment to you that you were like, nah, dude, I'm a metalhead?
I'll walk you through my musical taste history since I was a kid and just how eclectic it was, and where I ended up. So like when I was younger, the only thing I ever heard growing up was like my mom listened to country and some classic rock, like the AC/DC and all that kind of stuff. And then my dad, he listened to Arabic music and reggae. So I heard a shit ton of all of that growing up. My dad owned a nightclub from when I was like in like 4th grade to like when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. So he brought home a lot of like EDM and like rap music, and I started getting into that. And then I found actually the first... My older brother Fareed, he brought home a Rammstein album that he had borrowed from one of his friends, and I heard that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because there's the electronic stuff and everything. Exactly.
Yeah, that shit was a banger.
It was a banger.
Yeah,
it was that album.
It
was set in Sush. And it was pretty cool. And then after that, I kind of started getting into like, it kind of segued into like Metallica and like Korn and stuff, because Korn, the rap metal kind of game back in the day.
That makes sense now.
I used to fucking love Korn, dude.
Dude, there's still a sweet spot in my heart for them, because they were my first concert, and like I saw Korn and Deftones first concert ever.
Was it Family Values tour?
Yeah, in Starwood?
Bro, I was there. And that was, honestly, for me, that moment, that same concert, that's so fucking cool. Bury Your Dead played.
Bury Your Dead did play,
Bury Your Dead played. And the day after that, I was at Walmart with my parents because I was 13 years old.
I
maybe
think, yeah,
What were
I
we,
think it was like
13 or
2006 when it
was
happened.
our out of 8th grade going into high
school year, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I went to Walmart and I saw Bury Your Dead had just put out their was the Beauty and the Breakdown album.
Oh, fuck
And
yeah.
I bought that, and that got me into that whole spiral of deathcore and breakdown, slam music and shit, hardcore. Bury Your Dead is the band that got me into that. And
that's really cool.
Dude, but Deftones and Korn, they put on a hell of a show, dude.
It's still one of my favorite shows I've ever seen because it's just like, because for anyone who doesn't know, Starwood was like an outside amphitheater out here in Nashville forever ago. Now it's a bunch of fucking apartments. But
fucking shame.
So being in a metal band,
yeah,
like in the current state of like music, like popular music right now, like what's your, stance on that? Do you think it's pure shit, or do you like think there's good
You mean,
parts?
are you asking him if metal is pure shit?
No, I'm saying other than metal. You know what I mean? Like you play in a metal band, so like what do you think about all the other music right now?
Oh, I mean, dude, I listen to everything still. I'd say metal's like maybe like 50% of what I listen to, then everything else is everything else.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I really can't get into is like freeform jazz. It's just too much for me.
Yeah.
I do like some jazz and some stuff like that, but I mean, I just never stray away from trying to listen to something. I used to have that closed off mentality, like in high school and college and stuff.
Yeah.
But as I've grown up, it's kind of like you never know where you're going to pull influences from.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't shut yourself off from it. I guess.
100%.
Dude, the older I get, I feel like the same exact way. Like there's not like one specific genre I listen to like ever. You know what I mean? And there is people like that are like, no, I don't
There
listen
is
to
people like that.
There are people like that.
No, there are. I mean, I know a bunch of people from the scene that they're like resilient to sticking to their one lane, and I just feel like they get fucking boring.
Yeah, they're like, if you're not straight edge hardcore vegan, then I don't fuck with you.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're like,
just
dude,
too much.
why?
It's too much.
That's not a wise outlook in any aspect of life, in my opinion.
No, nothing's black and white in real life, so your music taste shouldn't be either.
No, and in my opinion, your music taste and how you look at music kind of reflects on how you are as a person.
I think so too.
100%. If some girl, you're like, hey, so what kind of music do you listen to? And she's like, I really love,
Reggaetron.
that Danielle Bregoli chick. I'm probably not going to be able to hang out with you because you like bad music.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
what
I mean?
is bad music?
Exactly.
It's
You know, if
subjective.
music
It's all
talks to you,
subjective.
I
It's whatever you
understand all
like.
that. But I'm just saying, for me as a person, if you come at me and you say, hey, I slapped that Danielle Bregoli, I'm going to be like, nah, not kicking it with you.
Catch
I'm
me
doing
outside.
that.
How
Not
about
doing
There's
that?
a really
It's not
great
worth
song
my time.
by Porcupine Tree. If you guys have listened to Porcupine Tree at all,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, Porcupine Tree's fucking dope
Shut
as
up,
fuck.
Dale.
Just some awesome prog rock.
Sorry,
But
Dale.
they have a song called "The Sound of Muzak." And do you guys know what like Muzak is? Like MUZAK.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen that. I thought
Is
that
that
was
a
hip-
genre?
I thought that was a hip way of spelling music.
No, so Muzak
Badass
is
way.
basically the idea of like making music or people making music as a product as opposed to an art form.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what that is. Well, I understand. That's a lot of pop music.
That's
and
a lot of
lot
pop
of
music.
country music now.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I mean, if you,
Unless you're Sturgill Simpson or something like
yes, it would shout out Sturgill.
And they
shout
still don't
out,
even play like him or
his
Chris
guy,
Stapleton. or
Tyler
anybody.
Childers. Shout out Tyler Childers. 'cause
Shout
that
out
guy's
Tyler
cool.
Childers,
Dude.
baby.
Or
Shout out
Childers,
to-
Childers. I don't know. He's good.
Childers.
He's the great Ginger Hope.
Dude, shout out to Casey
That's
Musgraves,
racist.
dude. I dig her, man. She's
My
good.
friend dated her, dude. Shout out.
No, he
Shout
didn't.
out.
Shout out
He
Casey.
did. Shout out, dude. I'll get him on the show. Dude.
I wish I was
Shout
dating
out.
her.
You know,
Just tell you all about
Casey.
that.
She won Album of the Year.
Yeah, with an album that doesn't have a single crash on it, dude.
Fuck you.
What?
There's no fucking blast beats either. I don't
No,
want to listen
yeah,
to it.
dude. Yeah.
No blast beats, no music.
Yeah, it sounds broken.
It has
and
no-
I've heard
dude, it
in
has
the
no
scene, if it's
breakdowns on the
broken,
entire
then you
album.
blast beat the fuck
Look
out of it.
and then it's fine. That's always it. But I mean, you know, that's kind of my thought on it. Because some pop music, I feel like is still like relevant and still like there's some pop artists that are still making good music.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love Justin Timberlake. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna hate
2020
on
for
JT.
life, dude. 2020
And I'm gonna be-
kills it.
Experience is fucking dope.
I'll be honest. Lady Gaga is
Lady
a
Gaga,
talented
yeah. She's
lady.
fucking amazing.
She is
Yeah.
very talented.
Dude, there's
I'm
a
not going to
small-
hate on her at all.
Dude, there's a small handful of like really like poppy, but also really good musicians, and then there's a fucking
there's a
field
sea
of
yeah.
shit. Just you know what I mean, but
there's a
it's
sea
still
of shit.
popular.
Yeah.
But like,
Of course, I mean it's all about how you market and sell yourself. I mean, if the industrial machine that is the music industry wants to package you a certain way and sell you that way, it's just people are going to buy it because there's so many people that don't care. Because I mean, we're musicians, so we're biased because we want to look at music in a certain way, we want to see it in a certain way, and we hold it to a certain esteem. But some people don't. They just hear it as like something to get them from work to home.
Something to work out to.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want that right BPM, and then they're listening to you because they can hit that runners.
Exactly.
They get in sync with it real quick.
Dude, my mom
speaking of runners, RP
doesn't
runners.
listen to music at all. Like
doesn't listen to music.
Dude, I'll go home and visit her, and we'll go fucking drive to the CVS and like no radio.
She doesn't
Just-
even have.
She
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
like
an
a favorite
iPod.
band. She doesn't have like if you were to get on a subject of music with her, she wouldn't be like,
Nothing.
"This is my favorite. I really do enjoy this."
The only thing that I know about my mother in music is that her first concert was fucking the Eagles.
The Eagle. That hey,
a good concert.
There you go. That's interesting. What was
That's it, dude? No iPod, like no records, like
She-
she'll go to a show like to hang out, like have social hour, down in the park or whatever. But my mom does not listen to music.
That's understandable though, because I mean, a lot of people they always listen to music and they use it as they couldn't imagine a life without music. But if you're not a musician, you can have other things other than music that
Sure.
are like your
Sure.
go-to thing,
But
that's
could you
understand. I understand
imagine-
people that don't even mess with music because a lot of modern music is kind of garbage, and I would get tired of listening to the same thing.
But
know
could
what I
you
mean?
imagine going to work? Like you start up your car in the morning, you've got a 20-minute commute to park and walk to work, and you don't turn on your radio.
Well,
Nothing.
dude,
No
Spencer,
talk, no talk radio or anything.
No talk
No,
radio
dude,
podcast.
Dude,
just
Spencer, you don't
silence.
listen to music in your car.
No, that's what I was going to bring up. I don't listen to music a whole lot.
No,
I
you
mean,
listen to
and that's
NPR.
baffling to me, honestly,
yeah, I
because,
listen
like,
to talk radio. Which
My mom
is-
doesn't
that's a-
listen to anything.
that or like trap.
It's just
Yeah, I listen, and
silence.
when I'm sitting here at my house, I'll go on YouTube and I like to listen to new rap music, even if it's not something that I would like. It interests me. It really intrigues me to see like
I love
what these
hip-hop.
new like hip hop artists are and like what they're putting out and what is
Little
like.
Windex, Little Skies.
Well, Little Windex is like he's a comedy guy, which I have mad respect for him. Little Windex, DTG, Canadian hero.
Yeah, he's
dude,
comedy,
I
but people
love his
like
stuff.
it's serious music.
Yeah,
like
he
fits the genre almost exclusively.
I like him because he's making a mockery of it. He's a guy that tried his damnedest for years, putting out his own original, like being like, I'm putting my heart and soul in this passion project, rapping. He was rapping up there and making little comedy videos and stuff. Nobody pay attention to him because he's just another like random dude, rapping, putting his music on SoundCloud. Then he's like, you know what? All these people want this dude with face tattoos and this crazy hair, and he's like, you know what I mean? And he's like, yo, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a wig. I'm gonna put a grill in, and I'm gonna make these songs that are simple. That's
And he
like,
did.
I'm gonna fuck a bitch and she gonna suck my dick. You know what I mean? And
Because it's fucking hype as
And
fuck.
then he blew up. He got popular, and he just came out with a song that addresses that, and it's him, DTG, and he's like, hey, you motherfuckers wouldn't pay attention to me when I was doing the stuff that I'm really passionate about, being like, hey, I am good at this. I have a talent. But you wouldn't pay attention, so I figured out what you wanted. I dumbed my shit down to 0 talent level, and you ate it up. You're like, look at me. This is,
Dude, that's
like what is wrong with your mentality with this? But whatever. Who's
That's
to
the
say
thing
what's
about,
bad music?
That's the
like
thing
you
about
said.
fucking comedy, though, man. Like, it's an art form that will never die because it will always sell in some way or another. You know what I mean? And like, obviously, that's like a comedic thing a little bit. Him turning into Little Windex. You know what I mean?
It's 100%
Same thing with
character.
Lil Dicky. You know what I mean? Like,
Lil Dicky's
I think that's
awesome.
different. Little Dicky is like he's
well, I mean,
embracing just
legit,
himself.
like,
He's
that,
like
that's him,
Yeah.
but he
I'm
still
a-
does comedy. You know what I mean? Like comedy rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
But
don't know.
he's not a character. He's just like, hey, what's up? I'm
Yeah.
Little Dicky,
He's
but I'm
good.
just a dude, and I'm gonna rap.
He's putting on a little bit of
he's
an
just-
act, though. You know what I mean?
A
like,
little bit of an act, but he's just.
I guess you have
not
to
like
if you're
Lil
gonna be
He's
an
not
artist.
putting on a wig
I
and
mean-
like adapting a new voice and shit. He's just.
If you're a performer of any type, you're not yourself when you're on stage.
right.
Yeah, I
You
understand
always,
that.
even if it's you, you're amplifying yourself up. You're like at 100 when you're not normally at that level 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Because you got to put on a show.
Yeah.
You got to entertain. Nobody wants fucking Joe Schmo.
Yeah, just standing up there looking at his fretboard, just looking at the ground while he's singing.
Dude, this
not
might sound
really
kind of
caring.
like douchey, but you being a singer, I'm a singer. I try to be at least. And do you ever get that thing like when you go on stage and you do a show, do like a half hour or 4 or 5 minute set, and you kind of just like phase out, like you can't really like recall any of like the moments during performing. You're just kind of like just did it, and then you know what I mean? Does that ever happen to you?
It does from time to time for sure. It depends on how. I know I had a good show when that happens.
Yeah.
When I have a bad show is when I start like remembering like, oh fuck, we fucked up here, we fucked up there, we fucked up here. But you're your worst critic, so you're always gonna pick up your fuck ups more than anybody
Right.
else is gonna. But no, when I'm grooving, like I'll go through all my lyrics in a song and not realize that I said them until
Yeah.
it's over, and like.
And part of that's practice, like muscle memory. And
Yeah,
shit
exactly.
Like
You're not even thinking about it anymore, and that's where you want to get. I find when I perform, the big thing is I don't want to seem forced in any way. Like when it comes to like when I do, because I do the comedy routine between our songs and shit like that. But that's just me, just up there just bullshitting. Like I'm not thinking about it. I'm just saying shit. And, I have plenty of people that tell me, like, they hate when people do that, but they don't mind when I do it because they know that's just who I am.
It's who you are. It seems very natural. It's not.
Yeah.
A lot of people could go up there and it seem forced. You're up there and it's a fluid thing. Because I've seen you. You guys perform a few times, and it's unlike any other metal band that I've seen perform. But there's never been a time that I'm like. There's never been like a cringe moment that I'm like. You know what I mean? Which I have with I've plenty of times I've seen live acts. I work in a place where I see live music every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, but you guys are just natural. That's there's a lot to be said for just being yourself and going up there and just doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
People will respect that and notice it.
Well, that's why I always wanted to be. I never wanted to come off like as someone else, I guess. Because then I'd have to do it when I was off the stage. And whenever I'm done, I'm done. I just want to be. It's like boop.
Yeah.
I just turn back into myself, and I hang out at the merch booth. You know what I mean?
I've thrown up after performing before.
You've thrown up after practices.
Yeah, I have.
I've never done that.
I sing so hard that I just no, but like your guys'
Seth.
your guys' keyboard player is a fucking trip to watch. Like when we went and sang,
Yeah.
dude, like his facial expressions and like just the way he's just kind of like,
Oh, dude,
I don't know,
yeah.
it's hard to explain, but he's
flips his
like,
hair back.
Well,
and
like I feel like a lot of that comes down to is just like because we've all been bros so long, it helps with like just our stage chemistry.
Yeah.
And we're just like we don't give a shit. We're just cool, just being dumb. Around
you can
each
totally
other.
tell that too. Like, I feel like I'm a firm believer in the fact that like if you play with a certain group of people for a long enough time, like you don't even have to like make eye contact to know where everyone's going. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah.
so like in with each other that like it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? But like it takes like I feel like it takes years and like playing a lot together, but like eventually like it's just some kind of like fusion thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? You just know where it's gonna go. Like you can sit there, all close your eyes, and just like play and like have a competent song.
That's what a small side asterisk to that. Skinner, whenever they used to rehearse before like they would go on tour, they would turn off the lights in the room they were playing in and play the whole songs in the dark.
Yeah.
Just because they're like, if we can do it like this, then we can play live perfect.
Which shout out Leonard Skinner, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Real Leonard Skinner.
Dude, there's like
love him, dude.
there's a Neil Young story about when he was with Crazy Horse or whatever, and there was like an interview and he was like, yeah, there would be nights where we were all so strung out on heroin or whatever that like no one in the band was playing the same song like on stage, but he was like, but somehow it like worked.
It
You know what I
just
mean? Like it
worked.
somehow it, like came together. You know what I mean? Like it didn't sound bad, but like everybody was like, oh, we're on this song. And the other guy's like, oh, we're on that song. But like he was like, I don't know, man, it was weird, but
It's wild, man. I mean, I was gonna say that's the other thing too. If we're talking about music, like older music, like like the 70s, 80s, 60s, 50s era, even the 90s. The idea of what's expected of you as a musician is totally different. Now, people used to celebrate imperfections in the record because it gave it character. Now it's like if it's not 100% like almost computerized perfect, it's shit. At least in the metal community, especially.
And rap. If you listen to rap beats,
rap
it's
too.
quantize the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't get any of that like real drum feel like you used to. Which gave it character.
It's like they don't even. They're like, we don't really want you to come record these drums. I think we'll just have.
Machine.
We'll have. We'll have. Alesis D9000.
the
just
machine
do your
is-
drum part for
machine
you.
doesn't
Phil.
have a
Sorry.
fee.
Good one.
The machine's free. We bought it one time for $300, and now we're just gonna use that from here on out. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay like a musician to come in here and do drums.
No, I mean exactly, and that's the difference. I feel like even in like really musically competent genres, there's just such like an extreme on like what you're supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe there's like a small renaissance to move away from that because I think everyone's kind of getting to a point where it's just like this is too much because it's so fucking sterile after a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that takes away the enjoyment factor.
Totally.
And when I think about metal music coming out now, I mean, you still have some of the old bands that you listened to back in the day that are putting out music that may or may not be up to what you want it to be, or they're evolving. But as far as new like heavy metal bands that are coming out, what is there? Because I haven't found. I mean, aside from the underground community of like what we've been a part of forever. I mean, it's metal now. Is if you meet a regular dude down the street and you're like, "Yo, I like metal," he's like, "Oh yeah, like what? Five Finger Death Punch,
Five Finger Cunt Punch."
Like what? There's not a metal scene really. There's not any good.
There's no real answer. There's no real like forefront.
There's no
one's breaking the mold.
There's nothing really new coming
Nobody's
out.
leading the scene like.
Well, so my thing with that is when I think of that because that question comes up a lot. It's just like who's the next Metallica, or even like more recently, who's the next like Korn or Pantera or Deftones, like the 90s. And if you even go like early 2000s, who's like the new Killswitch? Who's the new like...
Yeah, I mean, there's no... Like Killswitch, they had some like mainstream success too.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's no... It's now it seems like it's this Five Finger Death Punch or, this weird... some stuff that incorporates like rap and hip hop, but it's like on a weird level that's not... I'm like, this is like some kind of... odd
Dude, over the course of the past,
now,
like,
you know what I mean? It's industrial almost.
The past like 10 years, like started with like Avenged Sevenfold, and they kind of they nickelbacked that like genre. I feel like,
and they
you know what I mean?
started out as like a
they were
what's
fucking
emo,
emo,
like
yeah.
metalcore, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. They were
I mean,
kind of emo-ish.
some dude went to him and was like, "Yo, I know you want to keep like your artistic integrity and everything, but I'm gonna write a number down." You know what I mean? Like hands on the piece of paper.
but the thing is, if someone came up to you and asked you, like, I'm going to write this number down.
Oh, 100% I would
I
do
mean,
it.
everybody-
Take
no
it.
matter what.
What's
yeah.
the number, dude?
Yeah, that's why I can't, like, bring myself to shit talk too hard on, like, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
you
'cause
can't
I'm
really. You
No,
know what I mean? 'Cause, like,
I'm not shit
I
talking.
know, but I'm saying,
but-
like, but in terms of, like, I think, in a way, there's not necessarily a band that's, like, in charge anymore. I mean, aside from, like, bands that have been around for a while, like, Lamb of God and, like, Mastodon and bands like that they're hitting like big arena show success, but it's in Europe. It's not in the U.S. that much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they're still playing decent sized venues, but it's basically the same size venues they've always been playing.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I don't think that music in general, outside of pop music, is really going to be able to hold its own to that point anymore. Because I mean, like pop music, of course, is still selling out arenas like Bridgestone. Modern country is, but you don't see Sturgill Simpson selling out like Bridgestone. Right?
I'd agree. I think you have more of like cult followings, like different niche
Yeah.
followings.
and there's like
People
that
that'll show
handful
up
of
to a
people-
show at Exit In,
Well, like
or like
Cake
if any
on a
bigger like
Monday.
marathon.
Cake is
yeah.
a cult following. Sword is kind of a cult following.
Sword's big.
Sword's a badass band.
Yeah, like Sleep.
Ghost.
High on Fire.
Ghost is a little more,
big.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghost just got up. They toured with Maiden like last year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, that's
Sure,
a-
but you understand what I'm trying to
No,
say
I get
about
it.
like
No,
it's
I'm
such a
well, a study recently said that that metal music has the most like diehard fans They're not willing.
Every
to
Time I Die,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
idiots.
Yeah.
They're not willing to give up on bands where like any kind of other genre. If someone comes out with a crap album, they're quick to just drop
Blink 182.
Yeah, I love Blink
I mean,
182.
yeah, so do I.
much.
But bands in that era that can't transform themselves were bands that have been around in the metal community, Lamb of God, whatever. They can keep putting out albums.
Oh, for
but you
sure.
look at these other genres of music that can't achieve the same thing.
No, I mean for sure, but I think the mentality too is also the idea of realizing that there's not a lot of money in it anymore.
Yeah,
To be
you're doing
real?
it like out
Well,
of
there
passion.
never really was a whole lot of money in it.
But there was more money than there is now.
Yeah,
There was
which
like a
is-
4-year gap where you were making money doing that, like when like it was like at its peak in like 2007
Yeah.
or something.
MySpace era.
Well, it was 2000 to 2010. I'll say that was the
Yeah.
heyday. 2000 to 2010.
In terms of the internet
it,
era, that
it
was
gave
the
us
best.
enough time for me and you to like really get into it and be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we want to do this." And then by the time we got
It was like-
18, we were like, "Nah, this is done with."
Yeah. Because, dude, the 2008 scene in Nashville was fucking killer as fuck.
Bro, the 2000 to 2010 scene was insane. It shaped me. It was my childhood, man. That's
No, for sure.
Like we were talking about earlier, that Family Values tour with Korn and Deftones and stuff. Right before that, I'd gone to that Every Time I Die show, and I went to that, and I was like, "Yo, this is
dope."
Like, I saw Bury Your Dead, and I was like, "This is like the stuff that's getting my dick hard."
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, for sure.
So and I dove into it, and you know the Nashville bands, Alert the Sky, Get Your Guns. That was probably my favorite, dude. Just they had that southern metal twang to them.
Castle is a Tomb.
Castle is a Tomb.
With His Blood.
Alchina, With His Blood. Played with them. Well, I got a funny story about when we played With His Blood one time. But it was a plea for purging. They were
plea for
really the
purging.
ones that kind of like
They
took
pushed.
it. They were the ones that kind of were the forefront of that whole thing. When I think of the metal scene and the people that really pushed it in Nashville from that time, I think Plea for Purging, Alchina, Alert the Sky, Get Your Guns. Those are the 4 bands that I really think and is in my that was Nashville scene at that time.
They would sell shows like a fucking pro band coming into town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and all the kids would come out. We would
Hell yeah.
all go out there and be like, "We're going to be there."
But
you know what I
don't
mean?
You don't see that now. You don't see that now. I mean, even like, the Muse, as shit as the Muse was,
It was home, dude.
It was home, dude, for sure. I mean, fucking Whitechapel and Amir started there.
Acacia Strain,
Acacia Strain.
Suffocation.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
saw
real,
so
this
many
is a
insane
real
bands there.
Nashville born and raised conversation that's going
Well,
on.
that's
over
what I'm
here right
talking
now.
about. Well, we're talking. That's what this podcast is going to be. A lot of, at least, us starting out, is bringing people from the city.
Queef.
Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
Q-U-E-E-F comes from the English.
Dude, Dale's watching porn, dude.
Yeah, but for real, what this podcast is, about, especially starting out, is bringing different people from Nashville, this city, and we're talking about Nashville shit.
Well, dude, how about a little bit
cut
of-
and dry? That's what we're doing. We're talking about Nashville shit.
How about-
Nashville, born and raised, 615, motherfucker.
If you weren't
you want
here-
some biscuits,
Man, you're really getting fired up right now.
dude? I'm
That
fired
shit,
up.
You have to think. You weren't there for that,
You,
man.
dude, you weren't there.
Whatever.
You wouldn't know. You weren't
Fuck
there,
off.
Seth.
The scene.
I'm gonna
in
start getting
Nashville-
mean, dude. Fuck you guys.
The scene in Nashville at that time was so stupidly good. It was insane how good that scene
Yeah, dude, the
was.
scene in my city was great too.
You're from Cincy, and I understand. I'm sure it was.
Since he's
No,
still.
I know, but like you only know like if you're from the same place. Like you remember that dude, fucking 08 and 09. You know what I mean? Like, and you guys are having that conversation, which is fine because I get it. Because if it was somebody from Cincinnati, I'd be like, dude, do you fucking remember 2009? No, like you know what I mean?
Remember that, dude?
But here's what I'm saying: enough music talk. Let's talk about queefs.
You want to talk about
queefs?
queefs?
Yeah, dude, let's talk about queefs.
Yo, so this is a subject that was brought to me today, actually, by a gay man, which I respect. You know what I mean? I'm cool with everybody.
It was your ex.
I love
It was your ex.
everyone. No, it's not.
Who's your ex?
No, my ex is that
You
Momo
switched
girl.
back to
Have you
girls
seen the
with
Momo
V,
girl?
but He had a
Have you
guy.
seen the
Momo
Momo girl?
Mo.
Yeah, that's my
Mo,
ex-girlfriend, the Momo girl.
The Mo.
Talking about queefs, so he talked to me. He's a fella I work with, and he was like, "Man, you should talk about queefs because
That was-
as a gay man, I've never really experienced it or got to know much about it. So I'm curious. And, I think we should elaborate on, queefs. And I've got a question for you, Waleid. You going to Pound Town at it.
Sure.
You the first time, you know what I mean? You're plunging the toilet. You know what I'm saying? You're plunging. And then you pull out for a second and you're... The first time that ever happened to you, what did you do? Did you know what a queef was, or did it just happen and you were like...
Or did you think there was a walrus in the room?
Yeah. Did you think there was something living inside her and like maybe you needed to call an ambulance?
The first time
Like
I ever
teeth.
got queefed on, I was far along.
Queefed on?
Queefed on. I mean, I was in it.
When do you not
You
get
get
queefed
farted
on?
on.
Yeah, how'd you, Dale,
Queefed in?
you stay out of this conversation, Dale. This is for the men
Yeah,
right
once
now.
you lose your virginity, you can talk to us about
once
this.
once you get laid, Dale, you can come talk to us.
Zing.
You don't need to hear things like that. You just a boy.
Deal.
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't mean anything.
So what
Love you,
was it the first
Sarah.
time that you got queefed on? Like what was
I
what was it like?
The thing was, it was like, I was pretty sexually experienced at that point, so it wasn't like a shock. I wasn't like, what the fuck was that? It was more of I started laughing because I was like,
You just farted out of your lady parts.
I had to stop.
see that.
I pulled out, just started laughing.
Did you
Killed
come? Did it make you come?
It didn't make me come. Killed the mood though,
Yeah.
and it was over after that point.
Dude, the first time it happened to me, it was like the third time I had sex.
Oh,
and,
shit.
And it happened, and like I'm at the point in my sexual journey where I'm like, I have to be serious as fuck when I do. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like casual yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it happened, and I was like, I don't care. But then she started. then she started laughing, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay." And then ever since then, I've been laughing about queefs when I'm fucking.
Dude, Urban Dictionary, 3 of the top results for queef, of course, first is vaginal flatulence.
Yes.
Second, of course,
Wasn't the
is...
same thing?
Well, second is an explosive sound emanating from the female front and bottom, similar to flatus, but without the rancid smell. That's definition number 2.
Okay.
Definition number...
Definition? You mean because you said definition?
Definition number 5 on Urban Dictionary is the whimsical sound made by a rim-blown soprano flute.
What?
And the quote is queef 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 queef, end quote. So
Beef queef.
hashtag music, hashtag art.
Hashtag art.
It is
I mean, a
art.
queef
It's art
can't
form.
be. Why isn't there a whole album of queef shit?
Why is there so many definitions for queef? That's my question.
Why is the queef like looked at in such a negative way?
It's
No,
not
it's not.
really
It's not at
negative.
all.
I think it's hilarious.
No, it's
Yeah,
nothing
really
wrong
funny.
with it. I'd suck a queef right out of pee hole. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. Do you think your pee hole farts a little bit
I said,
sometimes?
why is it looked
No.
at such a
me
negative
neither.
way for women? I think
don't
it's
think that happens.
hilarious.
Yeah.
One
Totally.
of the funniest things that could ever happen.
Totally
to
agree with you.
Totally agree.
Especially
Well,
during intercourse.
Anyway,
Waleed,
happen.
I'm gonna ask you this, man. Waleed, what's your nationality, man? I know you're
Oh.
from Nashville. We've known each other a long time. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
where's your family come from?
My mom's white as fuck. She's from Crossville.
Tennessee.
Crossville, Tennessee.
Shout out Crossville, Tennessee.
shout out Crossville, Tennessee.
Crossville kind of sucks there, but
It's all right.
no lie. But my dad, he's from the Middle East. He's Palestinian, Lebanese Palestinian. He grew up in a refugee camp out there in Lebanon until he was like 9 or 10. Then he
So,
moved.
from birth.
Yeah, from birth until he-
100% grew up in a refugee camp in
Yeah.
Lebanon.
Yeah,
Damn.
and then he moved to him and his family moved to Abu Dhabi until he was like 19, and then that's when he immigrated here and went to college and met my mom and all that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! So have you been to Lebanon since you've been an adult?
Since I've been an adult, no. I did go when I was 14. We were there for 3 months.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we were there the whole summer. And then we stopped by Egypt on the way back because we stopped there for like a week, like saw
Bro.
the pyramids and shit.
No shit.
Because we got a lot of family friends there. So
What? That's the number one place I want to visit on this earth is Egypt, but me as a giant white man, and I'm not 100% up to date on all the current events in Egypt right now, but I know
It's not good.
It's not really a solid spot to go.
Yeah, but dude,
go as a tourist right now. I don't think it's not a. I'm not trying to do that right now, but I really
mean, if you go-
I'm envious of that. I will admit.
If you're just trying to go to like Cairo, like because that's where all the pyramids and shit are,
Right.
You're straight. I mean, that's a heavy tourist area. You're fine.
That's a bucket list thing for me. I want to see the fucking pyramids.
100%.
Well, do you want me to
And
ruin
the
something
Sphinx,
for
dude.
you?
Yeah, ruin it for me.
The Sphinx is fucking tiny.
Is it?
Really? Like how tiny?
I'm saying maybe like 15 feet tall.
Really?
Are you serious?
15, 20 feet tall.
It looks so much bigger when you look at
I would
pictures of it.
imagine it being like 50 feet tall.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's pretty small.
No shit.
And
How tall are the pyramids?
yeah.
Do you know?
pyramids are fucking huge.
They're tall
The
because I've
pyramids are
seen.
huge.
Yeah, have you seen the video of the one guy that climbed up the side of the one up there? I mean, that's illegal as fuck. But
Oh,
he
yeah.
took a video, and you seen that? He climbed up the side of it and videotaped it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell it's up there. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hell of a
no,
view.
no. They're fucking huge. The Sphinx is small. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker too, though. So like where the pyramids and the Sphinx are is like so the Sphinx is on the furthest out, and then from the Sphinx to like the main road that's like all city area, it's like maybe like 40 feet. It's like not out in the desert.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever you see it on fucking Discovery, they're only showing you the shots that make it look like it's in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like right next to the city.
No shit.
It's like Las Vegas or something, you know what I mean? Just not shit. Just busy road right next to it, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, that's insane. I did not know that. I
didn't
literally
know that
thought
either.
you would take like an hour ride to get out there to the shit
Oh
or something.
no, dude, you just drive straight.
See, that's probably another reason I shouldn't go to Egypt.
I mean,
Dude.
it's
I'm
cr-
ignorant.
You'd be so
dude.
underwhelmed. You'd be like, "Oh, really? I came all the way this way." For...
I mean, it's magical. It's pretty cool that like humans made that shit.
Yeah.
But especially if you see, they do like a really good like light show and shit with it too, which is pretty fucking dope. But the thing I really liked when I was there, we went to the Egyptian National History Museum, and that motherfucker was huge. We were there like 4+ hours, and maybe saw a quarter of the museum.
Wow.
No shit.
You have to spend like 2 days going through all that.
See, I bet that's cool as shit, though.
Yeah,
bet
dude, I
there's a
saw
bunch of
so many
awesome stuff
goddamn
in there.
mummies and shit.
Bro, that's cool.
Dude,
That's
speaking
cool
of
stuff.
crazy man-made shit, I want to do a live concert, Seth Huff, live at Stonehenge, dude. And I'm just in the middle of the Stonehenge, you know what I mean?
Like
I'm
fucking Spinal Tap?
No, dude, live at Stonehenge, man. It's gonna be fucking. There'll be people all around it, but they can't come into the stone. You know Stonehenge. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like
know
that
what you're talking about.
crazy thing that giants made, because giants were real at one point.
Yeah, 100%.
You know that because you're
Yeah, I'm a giant.
you're giant. Yeah, dude, fucking live at Stonehenge.
Well,
But how did that happen? How did Stonehenge happen?
Aliens,
got an explanation
dude.
for that?
You just
Fucking
explained
aliens,
it, bro.
dude.
You
Yeah.
said giants
Fucking
made
giants.
it, so...
What do you want? Is
I
it
was
giants
kidding about
real?
the giants thing. I don't think giants are real. I'm saying, how did they fucking?
Yo, you just went from the pyramids, which is probably one of the many wonders and marvels of
Man-made marvels in
past
the world.
architecture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
To
what I'm talking about. Stonehenge now.
which is,
That's perfect
3 big
segue.
old stones, just kind of like 2 here, just stood up, and then 1 over it. The pyramids, dog.
Dude, they weigh like
That's a different fucking ball game.
no,
dude. Get
because
real.
those stones fucking weigh like 2 tons and shit. They
How mu-
weighed them.
I get that, but if you if you take the square root of the total volume
What the fuck are you talking about
of
right
the
now?
bricks that the pyramids were made
Talking
out
about
of,
real shit.
the entire radius would encompass all of Stonehenge. So-
doesn't make any sense, dude.
And then you gotta also think about this shit too. The the pyramids line up with like a bunch of star patterns and all that kind of shit.
There's
too.
a lot of crazy astrology shit that
Don't
about
people think there's like one on like one axis and the other one on the other axis on the Earth, so like it keeps it like
yeah, it's
being
really
tilted?
it's really interesting.
yeah, if you're fucking Alex Jones, dude.
fucking Alex Jones.
No, dude.
Shout out, dude.
I'm telling you, like there are a
How's
point
on your
in like
show?
I don't know.
subhuman, the frogs are turning. The
turning the frogs
fluoride in
gay.
the water is turning the frogs gay. These subhuman vampires are coming down from the elitist pedophile rings and Snopes.com.
All right, Dale. Why don't
That
you
is a pretty good. That is a pretty fucking.
Dale? Why don't
good-
you find something for us to talk
Is that
about?
a good Alex Jones?
All right,
that's
Seth.
pretty
Shout
good.
out
Give me a
InfoWars. I'll have
second.
you on the show, Alex. I Alex Jones, whatever. You're crazy, dude.
That would be. Yeah.
Give us a statistic to discuss.
So, hey, I do have one question. You know,
You're
before
going
we
to
get
ruin
off-
the topics
Yeah,
like you do
yeah,
every time.
yeah, probably.
Last
That's
time
my-
you just had
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
topic
yeah,
to talk
yeah,
about.
Yeah,
We're just having a
sure.
conversation.
Hey,
We're
guess
just having
what,
a
Seth?
conversation.
Hey, you know what? There's this thing I learned in school. You know what I mean? And it's called
Poppin'
tell
pussy.
the kid over there that doesn't shut up to shut the fuck up. Seth, shut the fuck up. Hey,
right.
so Waleid, back on the topic of, Lebanon and your
Dale,
family
keep looking.
heritage.
Yeah.
Is this is only one question I want to ask.
Yeah,
Is
what
there anything like of your family that was from Lebanon? Because I'm curious, dude. Because I'm white as fuck, dude. My family is from here, dude. I'm not the most cultured guy. I'll admit it.
I'll
You
agree.
know what I mean? Is there any stories? Because I know like my family will tell me stories, like my uncles and my great grandparents or whatever when they were alive. Anybody from the old country that grew up there and lived there, are there any like cool stories that like your uncles or anybody would tell you that have stuck with you that you're like, that resonates. You know what I mean?
Well, I have one that actually happened to me. That's a pretty good story.
That's perfect.
So when we went to Lebanon, there's a city in southern Lebanon called Sur, where my great aunt, that's where she lives. She has an apartment, and it's like super nice. It's right next to the fucking beach, and like it's like a 3-bedroom apartment. I'm just talking about, but she pays like $100 a month for that motherfucker, and it's like a block from the beach. It's fucking awesome, and she's next to an ice cream shop. Fucking dope as fuck.
no,
Yeah,
wow.
Can't complain.
you can't complain, dude.
What a life.
I was gonna say also in Lebanon too, if you want a hookah and you don't have one at your house, you just fucking call a dude. He'll come by on his moped carrying everything and bring it to your house.
Hookah is like a household staple.
Well,
You got a hookah.
Dude, I love that job.
I've got
Just
like
delivering
4 in my
hookahs
house
all
right
day.
now, But anyway, so we were, walking around. It was me, my mom, my 2 sisters, and my brother, and my teta, who was my grandma. We were walking around, and my aunt, there was these dudes following us around and shit, like being real shady and shit. And we went back to my aunt's apartment and told her what was going on. And she's like, I'll take care of it. We're like, okay. So one of her best friend who lived in the apartment like above her, who would come down and hang out with her all the time. Her nephew, if you guys remember the terrorist group Hezbollah,
Yeah, Hezbollah.
her nephew is the leader of that.
Good.
And he basically put some people out there to get those people to leave us the fucker alone.
Bro.
Yeah.
So you had Hezbollah straight,
Running security.
Run security. Hezbollah ran security for you.
Yeah.
Wow. What, Dale?
Dude, we've had some, yeah, dude.
Hey,
All
we
right,
can.
did you
Not
find
to,
something?
Not to get into like, I was gonna say, I'm trying to avoid a lot of political things that I could get into, but I don't want, I'm trying to spare your podcast of my political ideologies.
Well,
Hey, but we can talk all night if you want.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, Waleid. You know what I mean? This is the thing, and this is what Huff and Brown's about. Huff and Brown, if you haven't got it by now, it's a acronym. You know what I mean? It's kind of an analogy, if you will, for
Not
Huff and
an acronym
Ass.
at all. It's not.
Hey, I already
It's not
said
an
I'm not
Fucking all.
cultured. You know what I mean? Hey, fuck off, dude. I don't care. Hey,
was there.
it's kind of a euphemism.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That's what you call like.
it's kind of like
euphemism.
it's a
Fucking
conundrum.
metaphor.
It's kind of an onomatopoeia, if you will.
It's
not any of those fucking
It's a
things.
hyperbole.
It's
you know
yeah,
what I
exactly.
mean?
Thank you, Seth. Hey,
No.
come on, pound it, bro. It's a hyperbole, if you will,
It's a
for
limerick.
snuff and ass. You know what I mean? We're not
Dude,
afraid to get into any
Talking
topic here.
queefs, talking music, talking politics.
We're talking anything.
Dude, we can talk as long as
Whatever
we fucking
you want to. So, hey, Waleid, bringing it back to it, if you got something heavy to drop, Why don't you
Just
drop
don't
it?
say anything discriminatory. We don't.
I'm not. No. That was a.
Not that you would. I'm just saying.
Why would you even suggest that he would
Shut
say
up.
something discriminatory, Seth?
Dude, shut up, dude.
So like
I hate you.
being of Palestinian descent, there's a lot of problems there between Palestine and Israel, as I'm sure the world knows. And so, I have a lot of stories tied to the treatment of my family by, Israelis, the Israeli soldiers and all that kind of stuff. But what I was going to get at more than anything was the fact that I'm not allowed to even go visit like what would be like my home at all. Like I can get into Lebanon, but that's technically, not where my family's from because they had to stay in a refugee camp. Being, because I have political refugee status, so I have dual citizenships as a U.S. citizen and a Palestinian citizenship. And I'm not allowed into Israel because of my Palestinian citizenship. Really? So, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So when we were in Lebanon, in Sur, they're right on the beach next to my aunt's house. You can overlook the water, and you can kind of see into Palestine because it was, like, right next to it. And that's where, like, there's a huge plot, like, a lot of acreage that my dad's dad had. And when the Israelis came in, they took all of it and made it into, like, an airstrip. And, like, I can physically see it, but I can never go, like, visit it. And it's just like right across the way. Yeah. So
That's wild.
So that was something I took away from it a lot. That was a real eye opener for like what life is like, and how things are sometimes. Yeah, because being from here, growing up in the States my whole life, it's just like, I mean, I always like was affiliated with it because my dad was still very proud about it and everything like that, but I didn't get it. But when I went and actually got to see it firsthand, it really opens your eyes up a lot. It's like, I guess I'm not just a white boy, even though all I hang out with is white boys.
Yeah. Well, because there's not a whole lot of, anything else in Cheatham County.
No, for sure. I think I was the ethnic population for the school, and I'm only half.
Quick side note: you look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pod dealer today. That's
Who,
what you
me?
look like. Yeah,
Just
that's
wear
what
a
you,
green
yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
You look like you sell them weed.
Me? I do. I look like I sell them weed. Well,
Like
I don't
Splinter's
sell
your-
weed, but you know what you look like? You look like the guy that shows up to like the coffee shop that, you thought it was open mic night, but you were too fucking stupid to remember that it was like the night after that. And you just show up with your guitar and you're like, hey, it's not open mic night, but hey, maybe somebody's in here that'll give me a shot. So you just get up on stage and you start playing and you cover like John Mayer and like Colby Calais and shit. You play bubbly.
I would
on your
never cover
acoustic
Colby
guitar.
Calais.
You just go in there and you're like, hey, if anybody wants to give me like a double macchiato, I'd really appreciate that.
You look,
And you know what? You kill the Colby Calais cover, but you don't kill it in cool status. You know what I mean?
While I'm doing that, you're the guy mopping the kitchen in the back.
No, I'm the
You're
one
wearing
making
the
you
janitor
espresso
up.
drink, giving you latte art because
No,
I'm
dude,
an
you can-
artist.
dude, you can
and you
never
know
be a
what? You're just
barista.
the guy that shows up at the coffee shop with a guitar. You know what? You're the guy at the party when everybody's having a good time.
You break it
and
up.
like Waleid's over there and he was like, hey, I've been macking on this chick. I just ran the beer pong table. I think I'm about to get my dick sucked. And you're like, hey guys, you know the song Daughters by John Mayer? I've got a great cover of it. And you just bust out your guitar and start playing it. That's what you are, Seth. That's what you are.
And you're outside the front door, knocking on the door, and like, don't let Spencer in. He's not invited to this party.
You probably.
You know what?
You know why?
Waleid-
Because
Waleid, you look like me in 15 years.
he does, dude.
Am I younger than you?
Yeah, I think so. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, 29. Still though. All right, it's your turn, man. Hit us up.
So
Get at us.
yeah, what you got?
What do we
What you
look
got
like?
for Huff and Brown?
Okay.
Waleid?
Here's one I was thinking about the other day. Okay, so if you not based purely on what you want, but what you believe your personality would tie you to, what kind of animal would you be?
I think I would honestly say I'd be a cat, dude. You know why? I mean, I do love my cats. I sleep a lot,
Like
dude.
a big cat or a house cat?
I sleep. Whenever you call me, Seth, Or Dale calls me goddamn every fucking morning. And I'm like,
Dale wakes up early, dude.
You wake me
Dude,
up
I'm
every
your
day. You
alarm
call me
clock
at like,
almost every day.
whenever, and you're like, hey,
Dale wakes
Spence,
up
and I'm like,
like
dude, I'm
10,
really,
like an
I'm
idiot.
really, I've been working in the beat
I'm like,
laboratory
yo,
till
you
like
lazy
4
son
in
of
the
a
morning.
bitch, wake the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, sorry, I don't work at 7 a.m.
It's 2 o'clock. Get the fuck out of bed.
Yeah, I'm. Oh,
You know?
that's
I
yeah,
dread
that's
like
lazy, dude.
right around 8 a.m. rolls around, you know, and I wake up a little bit, and I'm like, oh god, Dale's gonna call me in 2 hours. You know what I mean? And then like right on the dot, 10 a.m. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's
going
up, man?
on?
What's up,
What are
dude?
you doing?
Why does he call you guys?
You want
every
to go
day?
smoke some cigs?
Because we're boys, and you know what I mean. We do this shit. We not only do this podcast, Waleid. We showed you we're writing a rock opera. We make rap beats. We're writing country songs. You know,
I talked
our
to
band
Spencer.
broke up, man. So we kind of hit a point. Like
Trying
I
to
think
figure
a
out
lot,
what to do.
I think that's relatable, man. I think a lot of people hit a point in their life where they hit a point. They've been doing stuff, and they're like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And nobody really ever knows what. I mean, I guess some people do, but
No
come
answer.
on, get real. There's no real answer.
Well, I feel like you, it's like they say, a dream is just a dream. You have to like put the work in, dude. That's
Yeah.
it, man.
Well, I mean, what I feel like is we're all, me, Dale, and Seth are all, we're all buddies, but we're all creative people and have been our whole life.
And we're knocking on 30.
If we're knocking on 30.
I'm
Knocking on
gonna be
30's door,
25
man.
in May.
Knocking on 30's door.
I'm gonna be
and, we're
25.
just doing a thing. You know
I'm
what I mean?
almost 25. I'm
Whatever,
not,
Dale. Shut up. Dale.
I'm not close to 30.
Just
Dale, you're young. You know
Shut
what I
up.
mean?
You'll
You're the
be
guy. You're
almost-
the young guy that still has ambition, and you call us at
Give
10
it 3
a.m.
years,
and you're
man.
like, "Hey, man, what's up?
yeah.
What's
See,
up,
you
Dick?
guys keep me
What's up,
going.
Let me tell you my mantra for life that I've done to try to be successful, and I feel like I'm fairly successful. Do what the fuck you want.
100%.
Because like, dude, and I don't mean that in like the cheesy ass way. Like, if you want to do something, do it, but figure out how the fuck to actually do it. Don't just be like, man, I want to go work and do this thing. It's like, go great. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, fucking dig into it. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of people they like the idea of things. They're like, man, it would be cool if I was in a band. It would be cool if I was a singer in a band. It would be cool if I, had a podcast and had my buddies come out and talk about random shit. It would be cool if I went to school and became an engineer. It would be cool, whatever your thing is. A lot of people are attached to liking the idea of things, and it takes something else to actually go out and do everything that it takes to get what you
get it.
want. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
exactly.
And a lot of people will sit there their whole life and be like, man, this one idea, and just have that and not do anything about it and just think about it.
No, exactly.
It takes something to be like, fuck it. I may be an idiot. I may look like an idiot. I may, whatever, make mistakes. That's what fucking life's about, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're passionate about or whatever you want to do, just fucking grab it by the dick and jerk it, dude.
Dude, for sure.
Just go out there and
There's
make it
nothing
come. You know what I'm saying?
Worse than a person who seems so passionate about something and talks about it all the time, but never does anything about it. I'm like,
Well, it's easy to talk about it. It's hard to
it's
do
so
something.
easy to talk about. That's the thing. Like, and then you don't do anything about it, and you don't.
But you feel good about it, and to yourself.
Well, I'm sure it makes them feel good when they're talking about it to people, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." But like inside, they're like, "I'm never going to do that."
That's
you know
what
I mean?
it is. It's in the psyche. It's like some people get something off of being like, hey, let's start a band. You got five guys together, and you're gonna start a band, and you all get together, and one guy's like, well, I'm not going to do this because I'm knocking on 30's door, and if we're going to do this, we got to go balls to the wall. I'm getting too old for this shit. So if we're going to do it, we got to really dive deep into this thing. Yeah. And your other four guys are like, you know what? I relate to that. I understand where you're coming from. Let's dive balls deep into it. And you dive balls deep into it, and as you progress, 4 months, 6 months, you notice the guy that was like, look, I can't waste any time. I've got to dig my balls into this.
Slowly becomes
disattached to it, not for a lack of quality, not only due to, distraction and not actually being a person of their word and digging balls into it, liking the idea to it, attaching to it, saying that they like it, and getting like a feeling of, oh, I feel passionate about this. I'm going to do this, but not actually following through.
No.
The follow through, you can sit back at the plate, Wait for Randy Johnson to throw you a 104-mile-an-hour fastball. The ball's here. You know you're about ready to swing, and you hesitate, and you just stand there with it. Strike 3, you're out.
You're fucking out.
You know what I'm saying? Strike 3, you're out.
Well, I mean, dude, that's the biggest thing. I mean, is too many people like it's you get in your own headspace. You start fucking with yourself, and then you stop. You're like, but what about this? I'm not seeing results fast enough. I'm not seeing that. I mean, they're just talking about the Nashville scene again. Like, since I've been involved, like really involved, like the past like 7 years with Obelisk, like there's been so many bands that I've played with that don't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. They might exist for like a month or like a year or like a couple years, and then they're gone. I can probably count on like 1 or 2 hands which bands I've played with when I started to which bands I play with now. You know, and that's just bringing it back to music, but it's so relatable and like so many other things, is that you can want it and it's fun, but when you realize it's work, a lot of people peace out.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
100%.
Mainly it sucks. Honestly, you get like little pockets of like pleasure out of it, you know what I mean? But mainly it's you like beating your head against the wall and being like, I gotta make this, make this product. You know what I mean?
You're not a real musician if you're not like plagued with crippling self-doubt every day.
Right, yeah. And I mean, like, it takes, I'm a firm believer in the fact that if you go in, like, even if there's like a bunch of strangers in the room and you're like, oh, let's go jam, it takes like at least an hour for something, like, for some cog to start moving. Like last night we were doing fucking that trapeze song, and it took about an hour until we were like, oh, all right, this is cool. We got something here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen, like, right away.
No,
you know what I mean?
you got to dedicate yourself. I mean, like, when we practice. We've been practicing every Saturday for, like, 6 years. Every fucking Saturday from, like, noon till, like, 6 or 7 every night. And the consistency. And, I mean, yeah, we dick off sometimes. You can't work hard all the time.
No, you gotta have your fucking your enjoyment. It's gotta be fun too.
But it's gotta be fun. But you gotta be consistent. You gotta work and you gotta do it, because we realize that time you're putting in up front, that's what makes things work. You know what I mean? That first hour or two of practice when you're running the set, that's where you're getting your grooves going, and then that's when the music comes out after that. But so many people just want to play the set and go home. It's like, but then what are you doing?
Yeah, that's not
well,
the
and
point.
that's what we ran into. Honestly, man, we ran into a point with our group where one member would we'd run the set and he'd be like,
Deuces.
"Got to leave," and
Yeah.
we're like, "How can you just leave after running the set one time when we got a show and tomorrow?" You know what I mean?
At least like 2 or 3 times. You know,
And that to me is when I realized that
it wasn't working.
it was over. You know what I mean? And regardless of what caused that, when you start seeing that kind of action taking place, you know that that's done. And dude, it'll break you, dude. And I know we're not the only ones that have experienced that, especially if we're talking to Nashville. Yeah. I can guarantee you many people have experienced that. You get with a group of guys and you start building, a band, you build something, and it's a lot of guys that what's heartbreaking is a lot of guys that move here that aren't from here, that are leaving their families. They're like, I'm making a big decision in my life to move from my hometown to another city where I know no one to try to make it in a music business. You know what I mean? Try to find a band, try to find my place in all of this.
Yeah.
And they go out there and they'll start a band, and you put in a year or two worth of work and somebody pulls that kind of shit where they just start, slowly fading out.
Yeah.
That's that's heartbreaking, man. That'll mess with your soul, your mind, that hurts, man.
Well, dude,
I've been there too. I felt that.
You got to look at it this way too. Like anything, not just music, anything where you're like, yo, I've devoted my life to this thing, and this is what I want to do.
Sure.
It could be anything. It could be you being want to be a high jumper. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the only thing you're focused on. Anything you want to do is gonna it's a fucking chore to make that like your main shit. You know what I mean? Because most people just like they go to college and they get this degree and they get into, which nothing wrong with any of this, but you know they get into insurance or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I do. You know what I mean? But it's a completely different thing to be like, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this exact thing. Most people roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Which is like probably the smarter way to go about it. But like if you're like into something so hard that you have to do it, like it's tough, dude. Like you got to really commit.
And what we're talking about here too, though, I feel like what we're really hitting on is like passion project type things, like
For sure.
your heart. Yeah, there's a difference between trying to start up a passion project and being a hired gun.
Oh,
Or,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean? There's a difference in that, and I think us as musicians can. There's a difference, you know. Somebody outside that's not a musician be like, well, you know, what the hell? There's a huge difference in doing something that you're passionate about and have control over, as opposed to going with,
Being a
you know,
sesh musician.
Joe Black, who's like, hey, I got these country songs wrote up, and you can play these for me right now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sing them. I'm gonna be like, I'm a bow down, I'm a bow down. You know what I mean? And you're like, he's like, you know, I already got you charted out. You play this. It's a lot different. It's
for sure.
soulless, and I mean not soulless, but
You don't get
you
the
don't have any.
excitement.
Yeah, you're working for a paycheck, and there's something
It's
to be
a work.
said
It's
that's
work.
that's credible. And I have nothing bad to say about doing that. You know, hell, I've done that before, like just playing for somebody, playing their songs, but it's not the same as a passion project. Songs that you've created that are your little baby.
yeah.
Yeah, it's two different entities.
100%.
100%. I mean, I'm, you know, like, I always think that you should always look at things with, like, you know, just getting back to the idea of, like, and they don't tell you this in school or, like, life. It's like, there's a difference between having a job and having a career.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And I feel like even if you don't have, like, an artistic creative outlet, because that's just not your thing, you want to make sure you're passionate about what you do on the daily. You know what I mean?
You gotta be.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure. I mean, that's why, you know, I do what I do. You know, I don't do it for the money, for sure. But I do it because I love doing it. And I told myself I wouldn't work a job that I hated.
Yeah.
You know, when I graduated college, I went and worked at this place. It was for Home Depot. It was like in their corporate office doing like sales marketing shit. And I was making like 2 G's a week there. I was making hella cash, right? And I quit after 2 weeks. I fucking hated it. Like the job was bullshit. You know, I had to do, and I know a lot of people like I had to wear a suit. That was part of why I quit. But I was like, to me, it's just so important not to pretend to be someone else.
Yeah,
And-
have your integrity.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, compromising on that level was just like something I never wanted to do, and I just couldn't do it anymore. You know, and you know, luckily I was in a spot to where I wasn't like I had to. It was like I had a family or something like that relying on me. So I could make that decision to leave a good paying job, but because I wasn't, money's money, but money leaves. You know what I mean?
100%.
No paycheck is worth like having a little bit of peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. You know what I mean? And you know that's why I got into social work. You know, it's just so much more. You can physically see every day like who you're helping and how you're helping them and like what you're doing to impact their lives. And to me, that's what it's about. You know, trying to make your corner of the world a little less shitty.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
That's respectable as
Yeah,
hell,
dude.
dude. That's respectable
that.
as hell, dude.
So, you know, and I wanted to find something that if music didn't work out for me, I'd like doing that for the rest of my life. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the other thing. You can always play music. No matter what you're doing, you always got music. You know what I mean? Like, you can always be playing music with your dudes. That, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's like one of the nicest things about life for me. It's just like the fact that, like, I can always just play a guitar and fucking, you know.
But I feel like at a point, I mean, you shouldn't ever, I guess, but sometimes you get to a point where you're like, I don't think it's realistic for me to pursue this as like a career choice band anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not talking about pursuing. I'm just saying the fact that you can.
You can always
Play.
jam. You can always have that outlet.
By the way, I've been thinking about it the entire time. I think I'd be an otter if I was an animal.
Oh, back to the question. You think you'd be an
Thank you.
otter?
Yeah, I think I'd be an
for
otter.
answering.
They back swim.
That's true.
You know what I mean? They lay on their backs, they fall asleep, they hold hands when they're napping, when they're going down the river.
They're also rapists
Yeah.
and necrophiles.
Hide
Well,
your kids,
not
hide
that
your
part,
wife.
but everything else.
Otters are
Dude,
necrophiles for real?
For
Dude,
real,
what
for
animal
real.
are you though? He's got cat, otter.
No, I'm actually curious to hear what you think I am, though. What do you think I am,
Yeah,
dude?
I think you're like a fucking warthog.
Because I think you're a fucking anteater, dude.
I'm a fucking anteater.
I
Why?
think you're a fucking anteater, dude. Because you just fucking eat this like shitty ass little fucking nutrient on the ground. It's like you buy like the
Never
cheapest,
done that.
shittiest.
Never done that in
liquor.
my life, dude.
You're an anteater, dude.
No,
you know
dude,
what I mean?
I
Because
don't
it's got
even
that
use
big
the
old
5
pecker
second
coming
one.
out of his nose, and that's what you like—a big old pecker on
That's
your
stupid,
nose, dude.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Waleid, what
I
about
hate
you?
Sun bear.
A sun
Sun
bear? What
bear?
the fuck is a sun bear, dude?
It's a bear located in.
It sounds like the most beautiful bear ever, though. That's with his
Is it
name.
on fire, dude?
No, sun bears are just like they're the smallest bears in the bear family.
Holy crap!
They have like a big white crescent across their chest. They have also the longest tongue of any bear.
Hold on.
Which my tongue is not very long.
Do you think you have a...
I got this baby ass tongue, dude.
See, that's why your answer for me is fucking stupid because I don't even have a big nose. And
I'm
if
saying
I
you
were
like
to
a
be an
big
anteater, I'd
long,
have
like you like a
Yeah, but
big
I don't have a
long
big nose, though.
cylindrical
I got a button
object
nose.
on your nose, dude. That's what you like.
Shut up, dude.
That's what you like. A
But they
big
also-
long cylindrical object on your nose. That's what you like, dude.
No, dude.
But
I
also,
don't.
when I was like 19, for like a month or two straight, I had a dream about sun bears like every fucking night. So I'm like, this is my fucking spirit animal, dude.
Whoa,
I'm a
dude.
So
goddamn
you think
sun bear.
you think as a person though that all correlates to being a sun bear?
I think so.
I can agree. You're pretty
dude,
cuddly,
that's-
dude. I'd cuddle
Look
you.
at
dude.
that.
Look at that sweet boy.
That's a sun
Waleed
bear.
right there.
Yeah, dude.
That's what a sun bear looks like. All right, I
just
see what you're
chilling,
talking
dude.
about.
Yeah, yeah. Chilling, just fucking chilling. They have really.
Is that smaller than a koala bear? Really?
koalas aren't actually bears?
Are they marsupials?
Yeah, they're marsupials.
Okay.
You know,
Makes sense.
otters, dude. Otters are like pretty much like water cats. They look like cats. They got whiskers like cats.
And rapists and necrophiles.
All right, man, stop bringing up the rapist thing.
I'm just saying.
Do they really do that? Is that
Yes.
like is that like a thing?
Yeah, the sea otters are known to murder another otter and take the body and drag it around with it and rape it for weeks on end.
Dolphins do that to humans.
Dolphins rape humans.
Yo, I got a question
Dolphins
for
are the
you.
only animal who has sex for pleasure other than us.
No, I'm pretty sure other ones do that too.
The bonobos, the closest related ape creature to us.
Yep.
They fuck for fun.
They fuck for fun. Dude.
They also fuck as a system of like economy in their culture. So they'll like trade food and shit for fucking.
Dude,
You know, foxes are also one of the only animals that just have one partner, dude. They'll fuck one, other fox, and they'll be like, "Yo, you're my fox. I'm gonna fuck you for life."
yeah, it's like mallard ducks, same way.
I don't know if
also-
that's true, but
Did you know?
Ducks
Did you
also
know that doves masturbate?
Neat.
hey, Dale,
Actually, I made that up. But
yo, I got a question.
is there any animal that
No.
does jack off?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of apes.
Ape?
And
Yeah,
monkeys.
monkeys
jack off?
like, yeah, they're crazy, dude. There's videos of it.
Is
Yeah.
there any like other than fucking monkeys?
Anything that's not primate.
Well, I guess
I don't think anything else has like a
they can have a hand to jack off with.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like, you can't.
There's probably like ways they do pleasure themselves to some degree.
yeah,
Well, I think
like,
a
they
lot of
rub
the
their
animal
shit against
kingdom, whenever they want to fuck, they just fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like humans. They're just,
They just do it.
oh, if I can
Well,
get
the
it
animal-
in, I'm getting it in.
Well, the thing is,
That's
the-
fuck,
and
it's the animal
Hey,
kingdom.
It's tough for someone to get pussy, dude. They have to do
For
like
sure.
a dance or something.
I found an article called 9 Animals That Masturbate Other Than Humans.
hell yeah.
Number
Let's
1
run
is
'em off.
primates.
Let's go.
Primates, of course.
Number 2 is, dude, I can't even say this word.
You're not very smart, so it doesn't astound me.
Cetaceans.
What the fuck is that?
Cetaceans.
Sedations, dude. Sedations. It's like when you go to the doctor and you got to get an
Sedation.
operation done, and then they give you that little IV prick.
All right.
I think that's what they're
Well,
talking
that's
about.
like dolphins and shit.
yeah,
Number
dolphins,
3
yeah.
is elephants.
Dude,
Elephants fuck for fun.
dude,
Masturbate.
No, masturbate.
How does
They
an
use your
elephant masturbate, bro?
use a
That
trunk,
trunk,
man.
Oh my god, dude!
Jack
You
off with a
jack off
trunk,
with your
dude.
nose.
No, here, this is what it says, dude. Masturbate by repeatedly striking his erect penis against his belly. So they beat themselves.
So they do like the tuck.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
like the
Yep.
tuck it method and
Yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of rub their belly.
Number
Yeah.
4 is walrus, and they rub their flippers on their dick.
Wallace.
Okay, keep it going.
Just like Tusk, dude.
They-
Number
yeah, they-
5 is
Yo, walrus
rodents.
have bones in their penis. Yo, shout out having a bone in your dick where you
Ayo.
never have to worry about having a soft one.
Rodents
Always hard.
Rodents rub sticks against their genitals. That's great.
They rub sticks. That's pretty.
Bats.
Bats.
Bats
Because
use
bats
their
have, like,
tongues.
weird long penises and long tongues.
Bats
Really?
use their tongues. Lizards.
That's why they called me the Bat.
I
What do
didn't know
lizards
lizards.
do?
The bat wing.
Lizards do it too. Lizards?
They just rub against the ground and they get off.
Oh, they just twerk a little bit and get in the
Turtles.
Turtles.
They
Where's the turtle
also-
dick even at?
nut. Yeah, I didn't,
Dude, they also just rub against the ground. Rocks and shit.
that's pretty interesting, dude.
Penguins, that's number 9. Penguins.
Yeah, that-
With their
that's a given.
flippers? Does it say with their flippers?
It says
Now, what is this? What's the cite your source though? Cite your source.
Yeah.
Where is the sort?
gizmodo.com.
This coming from Snopes.com.
Let's go for stuff.
What if these trans interdimensional vampires or
Could be.
What if Dale was just making all that up? He's not reading shit. You know what I mean? He's just saying like,
I'm just looking at porn.
I
and
can
just
see,
making
I
all
can
this
see
up.
him reading right now.
Is in the glasses. You can see through my glasses.
Yeah, I can see what he's doing. He's reading. These
Bro.
are facts.
Is that the only 10 animals that jack off, or is there more? Is that just like
Well,
the top
listen, I Googled do monkeys jack off, and the first result was gizmodo.com 9 animals that masturbate.
Do some background research on that website. See how reliable it is.
10? We'll fact check it.
it's
Yeah,
all
we'll get-
fake
we'll
news.
get there. It's all
fake news.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
Fox News, CNBC.
Yo, hey, so for real, Waleid, I got a question for you, man.
Figure koala bears jack off too.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, go
maybe,
ahead.
dude, marsupial ass.
Sorry.
Do you remember a show when we were kids called The Pickup Artist?
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, yeah, okay. So, I got a question. You know, that it's all pretty fucked up. We don't have to get into all of that. But you know, if you were a pickup artist, what do you think your name would be? Like, what would you be like? Yo, my name is, you know, I'm Condor. I'm gonna tell you how to pick up these bitches.
Condor.
You know, what would your name be?
It'd be Franklin Oliver West.
Franklin Oliver
West, dude. That's a fucking cool ass name.
What would be your number one, like, your insight for the fellas to be able to pick up a lady if they were having a hard
What's
time
your, like,
picking up a
go-to
lady?
line? Like,
What
first
would be-
line?
Yeah, what would be your line? What would you tell them to do to
You
be
walk
able
up to the
you know,
bar and you're like-
ensure they could pick up that lady at the bar?
Well, here's some Waleid tips to pick up women. Number 1, first thing you message them, make sure it's not just the basic bullshit. Usually, I like to start off with a "Who do you think would win a fight?" question. Like, who do you think would win a fight, Macaulay Culkin or the Predator?
Made my family
That's
disappear.
definitely the Predator.
I don't know. Macaulay Culkin has 1 hour to prep his house. Who would win that fight now? Think about that.
And to think about it, the Predator, man, he's got like all sorts of sensory vision. He's a predator.
But you see what happened there? Conversation.
You're right,
There
dude.
you
That's
go.
how you get in them DMs,
Boom.
right? And you stay in them.
You say at them.
There's
Dude.
you know, there's one thing to get in the DMs and slide in them.
Sure,
It's
sure.
another thing to stay in 'em.
Yeah, it's hard to stay famous. It's not hard to get famous. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Here's what I say every time. I'm sliding to a DM, all right? I find a lady. I'm like, okay. And I DM her, where do you like it? And that's it.
Where you like it.
And-
And she's like,
And they either
I
say,
like Quiznos pretty good.
yeah. They either say their favorite restaurant or they say, fuck off. You know what I mean? And it's about 50-50. And it's usually Arby's. They're like, I like to eat Arby's. I'm like, hell yeah. Take them to the Arby's. Bring Beefy with me.
Pick up technique number 2.
Yo,
Yeah,
and
also bring a
we've
cat
already
every time.
learned Seth loves cougars.
Seth loves cougars.
He's gone cougar hunting.
I've gone cougar hunting
Big game cougar
a
hunting,
couple
dude.
times in my life as well.
Have you? What's the oldest? All right, let's be real. What's the oldest lady you've ever had sex with?
Oldest, 35, which isn't that old anymore now that I'm 27, but I was 21 at the time.
So you're 21 and you
Yeah.
had sex
She
with
was
a
35
37
at the time.
Yes.
Okay, 35.
Big age gap.
How was that?
Pretty primo.
Had she had any kids previously?
Yes, I think I remember the fact that she had kids.
Was she depressed?
It was the only time, one of the only times I ever got laid after a show.
All right, so she was a groupie.
Yeah.
See, dude, so you pointed at her like mid
You were
song.
like, you were like doing a song, and you were like,
and she
and you
just like,
pointed
and
at her.
she got into like, like
Yeah,
you know,
just fucking Niagara Falls. No
Niagara
shit.
Falls
you saw
style,
a puddle
dude.
around
Yeah,
her
dude.
shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when you knew you're like, I'm gonna talk to her after the show.
Actually, I was really awkward, and she came up to me, and I was like, "Okay,
You're gonna come?
Nice playing the coy.
I'm gonna come.
dude." I was, you gotta understand. I was pretty awkward, because I didn't start dating anybody until I was like 17, almost 18, and then I was with the same girl for like 3 years after that, 2.5 years, and then the same girl after that for like 2.5 years, like back to back. So I didn't have any game. I didn't know what the fuck was up. So you know what I mean? So I was like still learning how shit worked at that point.
Heard that.
No
Seth's
shame in
still
that.
trying to figure it out.
I'm still
Dale's
trying to
really
figure it
trying to
out,
figure
dude.
it out. He's never been laid.
I'm pretty pumped to like have sex for the
Hashtag
first
get
time.
Dale laid.
Hashtag get Dale laid.
Apparently, like, Spence told me earlier, like sex is pretty fun. So like, I'm pumped to do it. For the
I mean,
first
it's
time.
pretty cool. I mean, I've done like a time or two. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. The first time you ever have sex is the worst. It's always awful.
Yo,
Dude,
Don't wait.
Yo, listen.
Don't wait. It's terrible. Get it out of the way.
Where did you lose your virginity? Where were you at? Like, what? Where was the setting, dude?
The room.
There was a room. It was in a room.
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. I was on a bed and it had a mirror on the ceiling, dude.
Oh shit.
It was pretty snazzy. Dude.
Okay, so if we're gonna get into details, because I'm not gonna put names. I'm not blasting anybody
No,
here.
don't
So
blast them.
blast. We were at her house, and fucking Shark Week was on, and I fucking wanted to watch Shark Week because I wasn't like thinking.
Prowl.
I didn't think I was getting fucking laid, dude. Didn't even cross my mind. I was like, hell yeah, it's the Jaws episode of Mythbusters. I'm about this right now. And then she started making moves, and I said this out loud. I was like, this is weird. What's going on? Then things progressed further, then I knew what was going on. And then the whole time I lay there like a board on my back, just flat, no groove, no nothing.
She was on top.
She was on top, and she was. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just said that out loud to her, just like looking her in the face, like I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I don't. After all those years of porn, I thought like I would have trained myself because
Man, that'll fuck you up. Porn will fuck you up.
Porn
dude.
fucked me
That'll
up, dude.
fuck you up.
Because like I was like, I'm gonna be daddy in the room first time. I know it. I was not. I was not.
Dude, funny story about the first time I lost my virginity, right? All right, so I go to this girl's house, and I'm like, I think we're going to do it. And we start making out, and it's like awesome. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. And I pull her pants down, and she pulls mine down. We take all of our clothes off, and then like my penis got really hard.
Like it does.
Yeah. And then I inserted it into her vagina, and I went in and out, in and out, in and out until I came, and it was fucking awesome, man.
So basically, you had sex.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
First
story,
time.
dude. First time. You nutted, dude.
I nutted, dude.
Did you nut
Great
in?
story.
And then ejaculate came out of the tip of my penis, and
Did you nut in?
no, dude, I pulled it out.
Were you wearing a condom?
Nope.
You went raw dog. Your first
Raw
experience.
dog.
First time was raw dog.
Yep.
I didn't have
job,
my
dude.
first raw dog.
The thing is,
experience until I was
the funny part about the story
way in
though.
there.
Yeah, dude. My first time was definitely with a rubber on because I was scared, man.
I was like, I don't want to get pregnant.
I don't want to get anybody pregnant. I don't want to get my dick to fall off.
Dude, I was like, I don't
You
even
know what
care.
I mean?
I
I
want to have
don't
a family. I
trust
want to start a
anything.
family today. But the funny part about the story is that I went in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? I had sex.
It's funny
hilarious.
because you seriously got your dick,
My dick was-
your heart,
it was-
and
yeah.
your blood system pumped blood to your penis,
To my penis.
To the penis.
And then
and
insertion.
they got it. It was almost purple,
And then I
right?
put-
was
yeah.
it almost purple?
It was throbbing, buddy. 17-year-old? Dude, are you kidding
Bro,
me? It was
fucking like
a
a stallion.
rager, dude. It was fucking ready.
Spencer, when did you lose your V card, my dude?
I lost my virginity when I was 17 years old.
Also, we're all in the 17
We're all
club.
17 club, dude.
You were all 17? I was
Yeah.
17 years old when I lost my virginity. 100%, dude.
Well, on that note, we're getting close to the end here, and I think what we should do to close everything out is, one, you should tell us about your band, about your podcast. I want to hear everything about it.
Let us know what you have going on
where
right
can
now.
people
Let
find your shit?
let my mom who's listening right now know what you have going on, Waleid, because she's purchased hummus from
God, I
your
hope
mother
your mom
before.
isn't listening to this.
And she loves your family.
I know, dude. Miss Brown's the best. I love your mom. She's so sweet.
So what do you have going on though, man?
Okay. Also, Miss Brown, if you heard me talking about sex, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry
Mom,
about the
I'm
whole
sorry
queef
if
talk
we talked
thing.
about anything really weird. Maybe don't listen to this.
That's what went through my mind after some of those stories. I was like, oh, shit, if my mom listens to this. I was like, that's shit I've never told her. I'm like, I don't know if I want to. What a way to find out. Shit. All right. So you can find me. Oh, look at this cute ass cat.
Little twitty kitty.
Oh, Twitty the kitty, she's my babe.
Just so cute. Find me on that motherfucking Facebook, www.facebook.com/Obelisk of Nashville. That's the band link. Also, hook us up. We're on the Twitter, Obelisk_Nash. We're also on the fucking Instagram at Obelisk of Nashville. Fucking hit us up there. We're coming out with a full length this year. Should be about 10 songs of fucking like over an hour of music. So we're pretty excited on that. We're about halfway done right now. So we should have a lot. If you find it, we're about to be on Spotify this month. So you can find us at Obelisk of Spotify, Omens EP. The remaster's coming out. That's what's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be pretty dope. Then our podcast, Demons and Wizards and Dragons and Fire. Long ass name, but once you say it enough times, you'll start to remember it because it has a beat to
Rolls
it.
off the tongue nice.
Well, I mean, it has a beat. It's like Demons and Wizards and Dragons and Fire.
Demons and Wizards and Dragons and Fire, and Demons and Wizards and Dragons and Fire.
Exactly. There you go. So you can find us on Facebook at Demons and Wizards and Dragons of Fire. You can find us on Instagram at DWDFcast. And we don't have a Twitter, but, you know. And then also emails, same shit, DWDFcast and obeliskofnashville@gmail. Hit me up. I love questions. I love answering. Or if you want to book us, you know, I do a lot of booking, which is the last thing I'm going to plug right now. So me and a guy named from the scene named Sam Schneider, which you may remember.
Yeah, Sammy Slam Dance.
So me and Sam on the Facebook, we have a page called Nashville Aggressive. We're starting to do local band promotion and a lot of booking because I do a lot of booking and he has all the connects. So we're teaming up, build this scene, make this shit worth something again.
Hell
Follow us at Nashville Aggressive for all the cool shit that we're going to be bringing to the table soon, too.
Hell yeah. And we're going to tag all the shit that Waleid's been talking about, too. If you want to visit any of his shit, just click on one of the links that we put on here.
Please.
Obelisk, his podcast, anything, the metal community. Bro, I fucking love you, Waleid.
Dude, thanks for joining us tonight.
No, thank you for having me,
It's been a
dude.
real pleasure, honestly.
Dude, honestly, we're going to have you back, too, because we're going to have you back to talk because we love you.
Oh, wow.
So to close it out, I think we should all say something nice about each other.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, give some advice. You think we should give some
Want to
advice?
give some
Let's-
advice? Some
let's-
bad advice?
I've got two ideas.
Okay, hit them with it.
Here it is. First idea, lightning round. I'm going to say a word. You guys give me your first response.
Okay, let's hit it.
Let's do that. First, bag.
Hash.
Money.
Salami.
Bread.
Meat.
Yummy.
Guap.
Migos.
Racist.
This is
Racist.
the same,
Racist.
same
Why you say
word.
guap racist, Dale? Fuck you, Dale.
Wha-
Shut up.
Shut
Hey,
up,
Dale.
Dale.
You're not
Dude,
in this, Dale.
Shut up.
Just stay out of this
me
segment.
the
Dale.
God. All right, continue. I'm
everybody
sorry.
that's
I'm
listening-
sorry about him.
Hey,
I
let's
don't even know
restart
why
the
he's
segment.
here,
Forget
man.
that Dale was even talking. Okay,
Give me
let's
the
go
guap.
again.
Okay,
Hey,
continue.
Waleid, maybe give us a word now.
CDs.
Outdated.
Disc cassette.
Cool.
Shut up.
Dale, we told you to stop talking.
Stickers.
Hate him.
Money.
Gay.
Dope.
Money.
Mush.
Yum.
Mush. That's a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that.
I don't either. I'm like, pudding.
Money.
Bread.
It's all money. Money on my mind. Creamed it.
Secure the bag, fool. Get
All
the
right, next
bag. Get
game.
it in your
What
sack.
was your second idea?
Okay, so my second idea is a good would you rather.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
dude,
yeah,
this
we're
is something
familiar
we
with
get
those.
down on, dude.
We
I
love
love
would
this.
you
I
rather.
love some would you rathers. Okay, here's mine. It's probably one of the worst ones I've ever came up with. Let's see what you guys decide.
Okay.
So, you're in the middle. You're 1 inch deep in your mom, and your dad's 1 inch deep into you. Which way do you move to get out of it?
You're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he?
I'd go sideways. It'd be like saloon doors.
No, you gotta go forward or back.
Forward or back. Don't be a bitch, dude.
Well, you know what? I'm going to do the trump card here and be my mom's fucking dead, so I can't.
You
can't,
going back
That doesn't
or you're a
mean anything. She's still
necrophile,
there.
dude.
I can't conceptualize that situation. You know what I
She
mean?
comes back.
Basically, it's
mom's
just
dead,
my dad's dick on my butt, and that's it.
Okay. Do you have
No mom
another?
on the
Do you
other
have a Do you have a maternal figure of any sort? Do you have a grandma?
So
He does have a roommate that hates him.
I
So
guess
maybe he'll grudge fuck.
if it was my grandma, I would go into her because it would be like the least pleasurable. You know what I mean? If my dad's dick's all the way in my ass, I'm having fun, brother.
Waleid, I don't know what kind of question you brought to us, but it fucked Seth up, and I think he's going to need to visit a home for 2 to 3 weeks, so we might be spaced on content. So thank you on that, bud.
I bring it hard, dude. I bring those hard questions.
All right,
That's
dude.
good.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming on. You're
No,
a
for sure. I
fucking
appreciate you guys
cool-ass
having me, dude.
Dude, Waleid, you're one of the realest guys. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to be here supporting you because you're my brother, dude.
You guys are
I
so
fucking
sweet.
love you.
Well, when you guys get your rock opera shit, I'm on it.
We'll put all the links to all the shit, the podcast, the band, everything in the bio for this video. Waleid, dude, you fucking killed it. So,
I'm pretty good.
Hey, Dale, why don't you do what you do best and send us out of this bitch?
We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.